Welcome to Outside Magic, a podcast about the intersection of creativity and the outdoors. I'm your host, Christopher San Agustin, the founder of Broken and Coastal, a studio rooted in storytelling, design, and community. Today's episode is with Makenzie Brown. She's one of those people that have been orbiting around my world for a few years now. It was really awesome to finally sit down and dig into what makes Makenzie Makenzie. We talk about moving on from full-time work to running her own studio, Cereal for Dinner, taking time to make art again, and how her mentor pulled her out of an internship at the North Face and is now her daughter's godfather. We dive in. If you're enjoying these conversations, the best way to support the show is to subscribe, leave a comment, and share with a friend. I was going to start off by just asking, on your website, you say like you started off skiing and drawing at a very young age. And something that I've been doing recently is like looking back at my younger age and looking back for like those little moments that you're like dang, like that one experience I had kind of like created like this ripple effect to kind of get me to where I'm at right now. And I'm kind of curious if there's anything that kind of sticks out in your head right now of a moment where you're like in your younger years where you're like, dang, that really actually made a huge impact on me. It set me on this kind of path.
Yeah, well, it's funny we were talking about the Montessori thing because I didn't go to a Montessori school, but I went to a Reggio Emilia school, which is also an Italian curriculum.
Oh, cool.
But with Reggio, it's like a little more free form and they foster like whatever the kids are into. So I was into painting and printmaking, and I just remember distinctly like being so obsessed with it. Like that's all I did every day. Every year it was like stacks of collages and everything that my teachers kept that I made. So I
Wow.
knew from like 2.5, 3 years old, like what I was going to do. And then I would say there were like two pivotal moments in my life where I kind of like remembered that 3-year-old. And one was I was 9 years old and I just like went for a mountain bike ride by myself. Which thinking back, I'm like, that's crazy. My parents just like let me go mountain biking by myself.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go to this bigger school that had a better art program because I went to a tiny school that had like 100 kids. So I just distinctly remember coming home from the bike ride being so focused, and I wrote a letter to my principal asking if I could go to the other school.
Oh my God.
And it
That's
led,
awesome.
yeah, and it like became this huge thing with my mom like battling for school choice in Vermont, and they
Oh,
were like
wow.
they owned a business in the school that I wanted to go to, and they were like, it makes sense that we pay taxes here. She should be able to go here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up being able to go, and then it like sparked this whole thing for kids in that town to be able to go to the bigger school.
Oh, that's amazing. But just
So
like the
then I was like,
intuition.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
crazy that I
What?
knew all this. And then
That's
it's like
crazy.
older I got, it's like the foggier you get and like the less spiritually in tune you are with who that little kid was. So I feel you on that, like remembering your upbringing and your childhood and what you were into, because that's so real. Like
Yeah.
it's very raw. And like the art thing is very raw. But I think when a kid has that, you have to foster it.
Yeah. Then it's crazy because you can just start, like I use like Figma for it, and you
Hmm.
can just start mapping out all those little experiences because they happen all the
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
And then what's interesting is like once you kind of have it all out there in this world, like in front
Yeah.
of you, now you can start pinning things together and like seeing the through lines of like your life to see where you got here, which is it
Yeah.
just gets really interesting. And I found like that's the kind of working process to get you to help you with that transitional period.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
it's like a
kind of
lot
what
of like,
happened.
yeah.
Another moment was I was in college. I ski raced in college and I had like a bumpy first couple of years of college because it was like a really hard school and I was trying to be a student athlete and it was just like a huge grind. And one of my peers who's 5 years older than me but went to the same high school and college, she was just like a little bit ahead of me, told me to do this program at RISD one summer. So I went and did graphic design for a summer and
Wow.
like taught myself all the Adobe programs. And then I never went back. I was like, I'm going to art school now. So Like that was a moment. And then I would say the most recent moment was my preschooler like painting and drawing all the time. And I was literally like, why am I not painting and drawing all the time? Like, this is crazy. She gets to draw all day, and
Yeah.
I'm like staring at a screen. Like,
Yeah.
the drawing and like art making part of my design process is so tiny now. And then I was just like, screw this. I'm just gonna start painting again.
That's
That's the phase.
awesome.
Now that's the phase I'm in. Like, got
We
jealous
have,
of her.
yeah, we have friends that we visit in Fernie a lot. They're like good friends of my wife and now my good friends too. But they have two little daughters,
Hmm.
and the artwork that they pump out, it is just like
It's
mind
crazy.
blowing to me. I'm like,
And
you
it's
could
like
start a brand
daily.
right now
I know.
and like crush. So they're
And
coming and
people do
visiting.
it. People
Yeah,
do that with their kids' art.
they're coming to visit next month, and my plan is to have her do a bunch of art. And I think I'm gonna like get some screens made and
Nice.
like screen print a bunch of totes maybe for her to like bring back to Fernie and like
Oh,
so
that's
she can
so
like
cute.
slang them out there.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
There's also this woman I see on Instagram and a bunch of people have knocked her off, but she takes all her kids' art and then she does her own composition on a canvas. So there'll be like
That's
a
cool.
collage of all the art from that year or month or whatever, and she'll just Mod Podge it on the canvas. But she's like cutting it up and it's like this design exercise. So it's
Yeah,
a large format canvas of her kids' art, but it's like her vision.
that's cool. That's interesting.
I know I keep saving all the stacks. I'm like meaning to do it, and then I don't buy Mod Podge and
Yeah,
I forget.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're kind of. I've been exploring like the idea of like the physical and digital world a lot lately with my
Hmm.
creative practice, and then was starting this new studio that was going to kind of do the same thing. And it
Hmm.
kind of seems like you're kind of in that world too, where it's like one foot into like making physical things, working with your hands, the
Yeah.
other foot in the digital world still. Like, what's your relationship with that?
I think like the making part, it's like so complex why we create as humans. But like part of it for me is like a nervous system reset. But then in 2026, it's also this like anti-digital AI whatever thing. Like a computer can't make something that I'm painting. And that just feels like, I don't know, refreshing or more human or whatever you want to call it. Because I wouldn't say I'm rejecting AI in my design work, but it's almost like it has to balance itself out somehow. Because I
Yeah,
feel like with the design work, you're almost expected to use it so much and like be so in tune with what's trending and what tools to use and what Figma update is happening and yada yada
yeah,
that I get exhausted by it. And then I'm like, I just want to paint and like listen to music or a book and not
yeah,
talk to the world.
yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I picked up sewing, I think last winter,
Oh, nice.
and that's been kind of my physical outlet, which has been
Yeah,
nice. I hope
that's
to get to the
cool.
point where I can treat it more like art. There's just been a steep learning curve. Like I need to
Oh,
put in
yeah.
the reps to like learn the little things to kind of finally allow myself to be creative.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. Yeah. Having that outlet. I wish I
Yeah.
could paint. Maybe I should try, but
You could. But you
it's
know
been a
what's
long
funny?
time.
The thing I do, like when I was younger, I used to have this expectation that I could just like take a paintbrush and make it. And
Hmm.
now with my whole design background, I draw it, I digitize it, I color explore, I tweak it, and then I take the digital thing and then I go paint it. So
Oh,
it's like this
interesting.
whole
Cool.
design process to get to what the painting is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, like again, like kind of speaking like on transition, another
Hmm.
thing that's been kind of standing out is like, people in our situation where you've been doing this career for a long time now and you've picked up all these like little things.
Yeah,
And then now you can apply those to anything. Like which is
totally.
just kind of cool. You're like and
Yeah,
you're coming from a different perspective, which
yeah,
is really probably the most important thing I imagine,
yeah.
in my opinion, these days. So
And it's like
yeah,
all
it's really powerful.
your efficiencies from being a designer, especially graphic designer, is so subconscious. Like the way that I know I'm going to translate a sketch to a painting or a logo or whatever the project is like such a quick, fluid thing that happens because I've done it so many times. Whereas like when you're in design school, you're like figuring out the process and you're critiquing each other on the process, and it's like a
Yeah.
month-long thing to get to how you're going to get to something.
Yeah.
But now it's like art and design are just like, oh, I know what I do, and it's like all just flows somehow, that experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. Yeah.
And I love that everyone has a different process.
Totally. That's what I miss when I moved to New York. So
Uh-huh.
after college, I want to ask you about your schooling, but I went to Expression College. Did you ever hear about that? It was like in Emeryville,
No,
California. Yeah. So
no.
it was in Emeryville, California. They had like motion design, like CGI, and then they had like a sound
Cool.
program. So I
Yeah.
went there for motion design because I was into graphic design. And I was like, cool, it's like graphic design, but moving. And it was definitely the best decision I ever made. But afterwards, it was like either move to LA or to New York. So I ended up moving to New York with my wife. And those like 7 years were so impactful because I was literally rubbing elbows with like the most talented people in the world, like
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
I worked at all these different studios, like ticked off all the boxes of the places I want to work at. But just the ability to learn those little processes from other people, because we all have our own
Totally.
processes. I feel like that's, to me personally, I feel like that's completely lost. Like when you're just
Mm,
working by yourself,
it totally is. Yeah.
it's kind of a bummer. I miss it.
Yeah. I read this good post that my husband reposted the other day, and it was like, it was almost like this love letter to anti-AI. And it was like, why bother calling my mom to find out that cake recipe when I could just look it up and like have a computer tell it to me? Or like, why bother calling that
Yeah.
friend about their favorite campsites when I could just
Yeah.
have AI like tell me all the spots that I should go? And
Yeah. That's a good
I
one.
like think about it, I like find myself doing it. Like I'm having this whole conundrum with pink paint. And I'm like, I
Hmm.
should just walk over to the studio over there because I know Homegirl uses fluorescent pink paint and
Yeah.
like pick her brain. Like I'm not gonna sit here by myself and like tap to the computer about what fluorescent pink paint is the best and how I'm gonna get the right sheen that I want.
True.
Yeah, but like just talking to people and for design stuff, I remember early on just literally just like watching someone's computer screen and like
Hmm.
watching them do the hotkeys. Like
Yeah.
that's how I remember learning. It's like
Totally.
seeing how someone else does it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I was working in New York, man, the studios I worked at were incredible.
Yeah.
Like I worked at this two that stand out to me. There was one was called the Mill, and then one was called Brand New School. I think Brand New School is still around,
Hmm.
and it was just like you take the elevator up, and it was just like the most gorgeous studio. Like any
Yeah.
design student, you just dream of being in this studio, and right, and you're just like side by side next to like literally the most talented designers in the world, like
Yeah.
New York City, right? Like people from everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, just being able to like work on collaborate, like learn that little shortcut or learn how to like, mask this thing out. So
Hmm.
the like it blends into the background, like all the compositing techniques, just like all the little things that people who are making YouTube tutorials, they never even come across that kind of stuff because they're not in that
Totally.
environment. So
Yeah.
you can only learn so much online.
Yeah. It's
I don't
true.
know where I was going with that, but
It's like
I
I
want
do
it back.
miss that. I feel like that I know it's like I chose to freelance and I chose to like sit alone in a studio all day, but I do miss that part of being in an office sometimes. Or maybe you're not that productive, but you're like jamming on something and you just see how other people think and it totally changes your train of thought or something you were stuck on. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't happen anymore.
Well, I think for you though, like just looking at your timeline a little bit, obviously from outside looking
Yeah.
in, I feel like going freelance is probably a really good thing for you because
Hmm.
you went from brand A to B to C, and like you probably learned what you can from there. And so
Yeah.
now you're kind of just opening yourself up to learn more from new
Yeah.
clients or new collaborators and stuff.
Yeah,
So
totally. Yeah, I've done some stuff outside of outdoor and cycling too, and I love that.
cool.
Like I worked on a tequila company for 9 months, and I
Oh,
was like,
nice.
I didn't know anything about this world, but it is so
Yeah.
nerdy, like the whole agave spirits world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
like you
cool.
can apply the same training to that
Oh, yeah.
product as you can a bike. So it was like good for me because I knew what I was doing, but it was just interesting to be outside of the industry I've known for so long.
Yeah. Do you feel like you want to work more outside of your industry right
Yeah,
now?
for sure. I really want to do stuff in the music world.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
And like I don't have an in, but like beyond just like album art, I feel like doing branding for an artist would be cool. Or
Would be super cool.
even like tech stuff like Spotify. I'm like I gravitate towards those colorful pop arty
Hmm.
like brand languages. I don't know. But I'm also like not actively looking for work because I'm tired and kind of just want to ride my bike and paint.
Yeah.
So that I'm like, I do want to like work in other industries and I love the idea of working in the music industry, but I don't know. It's not like this thing at the front of my mind right now.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool to have like the time to have a little space for yourself. That's good.
Yeah, I kind of had to force it. I recently was like, why did I try to like mom so hard and work at the same time and like not
Hmm.
ride my bike? Like that sucked for 2.5 years. So now I'm trying to like do the opposite of that.
So it sounds like you grew up mountain biking. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, mostly skiing and mountain biking. Mountain biking was always like the off-season thing.
Okay. And was that
Yeah.
through your parents? Do your parents both do that?
Yeah, my mom ski raced and then my dad has been a ski instructor for like 50 years.
Nice.
And then we grew up like on mountain biking trails, so they were into all the things. But now
That's
they don't
awesome.
really bike, they just kiteboard, which is
Kiteboard.
funny.
That's cool
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, they're like, I don't
Yeah.
want to fall biking. I'd rather fall in the water.
Yeah, I didn't get into any of that stuff until later in life. I mean, I was a
Really?
BMXer since I rode BMX since I was like 6
Yeah.
into my rode BMX into my mid 20s essentially. And
Yeah.
then in New York, I actually picked up road cycling and that kind of
Yeah.
snowballed into all the other things. But
Yeah.
yeah, BMX was kind of like my extent of outdoors really,
Yeah. I feel like
which is it's been
BMXers are really
interesting.
good mountain bikers though.
We are.
Like
We're
you
the
have like
best.
the handling. I don't know,
Yeah.
like every specialized employee I rode with who grew up riding BMX bikes was like so technically good on a mountain bike.
Oh yeah. I interviewed Christian Regal a couple weeks ago and he's
Nice.
yeah, I mean, I think he's arguably one of the best mountain bikers in the world, in my opinion,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he comes from BMX. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. For me, it's been interesting, especially like meeting people who have lived a life more in the outdoors
Mm.
because I mean, I went backpacking. I was like thinking about this the other day. I went backpacking once when I was like maybe 12 and I
Yeah.
didn't do it again until 2 years ago.
Wow.
And then yeah, like never grew up camping or anything. So I feel like I'm almost like making up for lost time. So I've been like
Yeah.
going hard, you know?
Yeah,
Like
you
I'll
have
drive
to.
5 hours to climb that mountain. Why not?
Yeah.
I didn't get a driver's license until like, I don't know, like 8 years ago. So
Oh my God.
yeah. So I'm like
That's funny.
definitely making up for lost time.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's
Yeah.
like the enthusiasm in the outdoor community is like so welcoming
Yeah.
and nobody, I don't know, I don't feel like people care.
No,
People are just stoked to
no,
do stuff.
totally.
I saw a friend in Tahoe and she's like, I'm just trying to fun max all the time.
Yeah. That's the goal for
Yeah.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
definitely trying to channel that.
Yeah.
It's up and down for me personally, but I try.
Yeah, you have to balance it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does your
For
wife
sure.
mountain
Everything.
bike?
No, she does not. She likes, the only like thing that she really likes right now is pickleball. So
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. Which is actually, it's pretty fun. But
It is
yeah,
fun. It's like
she,
it's like
yeah, it's like, it's funny how competitive people get.
yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it is addictive though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you went to CCA, which I think is a really
Mm.
cool school. A lot of talented people come out of there, but I also feel like it's a place you could probably get lost pretty easily. Like
Yeah.
living in San Francisco, it's like, I don't know, like how did you find that experience? And then how did you find the experience from CCA to actually working in the real world?
Yeah, so like I was saying, I went to Middlebury first for ski racing, and then I went to RISD that summer, and I like desperately wanted to go to RISD, so I applied to transfer and I didn't get in, but I got into CCA. And then I went and visited San Francisco with a friend, and I was like, yeah, I want to live here. And by then, I guess I was like a little bit older because I'd been in college for a couple of years. But you get there and you're just like living in San Francisco and
Pretty cool
find your way to
city. Yeah.
class. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. And I had this single speed, no bike lights, no helmet. I lived at like the top of this hill and I
Classic.
worked at a coffee shop in the mornings. Like I'd open the coffee shop and then I'd be in class till 11 at night and then bike home. And I'm just like, how did I survive? Like the whole thing is so crazy.
That's city life. You get that
And
energy.
yeah, and I was 21, so like nothing mattered.
Yeah.
But the campus is spread across Oakland and San Francisco. So you're like
Yeah.
navigating the BART and probably not living on a campus. So you're just like a child living in this huge city, figuring out how to get to class on time.
I remember the CCA parties were always really good. I would go to the ones in
Yeah.
Oakland because
Yeah,
that's where I was
no,
living.
yeah, like the Oakland kids were cool. I liked that campus a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. East Bay for sure.
Yeah, and
I
then
was
I
born in
I
Oakland.
moved over there. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I lived like 7 places in 10 years. No, how long? I wasn't there 10 years. I lived 7 places in 6 years in the
Okay.
Bay.
Nice.
So I'm like, I was living in Fruitvale when I started working at the North Face.
Okay.
And I had a teacher who like had a connect to an internship. And I was like in a fashion design class of hers, but she had the connection at TNF. And I interviewed, somehow got the internship, and it was supposed to only be 2 days a week. And then I was like planning on landscaping that summer. So I was like, okay, I can do like an office thing for a couple days and then I'll be in the garden the rest of the week. And then I got there and another team needed an intern. So then all of a sudden I was like 5 days a week.
Okay.
And
Nice.
then like that only lasted a few weeks until I met my boss who brought us all over to hardware and is now the godfather of my kid. And he
Wow.
and he like plucked me from the fray of being an intern in this big corporate world
Mhm.
and just hired me directly as a contractor and then full time.
That's
So
awesome.
I got like
So,
so lucky with this mentor that he just kind of like found me and took me.
so he's the
And
one that took
then
you to Mountain Hardwear?
yeah, he left TNF and then he brought like four of us to hardware over the
Okay.
course of a
Cool.
year or something.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it's all
was,
about those connections.
oh my God, it was like just so lucky. Like it was the connection of my teacher, it was the connection of friends I had who already worked there, and then Pete just somehow getting lucky and befriending him.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like hard to give people advice because I'm like, I literally got so lucky and then every job I've had since has been like North Face people giving me a job.
Yeah.
It
I
wasn't
mean,
like
it's how it is.
I know, but
It's,
it's like my
yeah.
brother's just cold calling and like cold
Yeah.
interviewing from LinkedIn. And I'm like, I've never gotten a job that way, so I don't know what to tell you. Like, that seems really hard.
Yeah, I feel like even with my resume now, like I feel like there's no way I would ever get a job
I know,
through
even if you have
LinkedIn.
like a dope resume, it's like you
It
can't even
doesn't
get a
matter,
call back. It's
you know.
nuts.
don't even want to try.
I know, it's
Yeah, I always
crazy.
tell people, because I'm still like, I'm I'm really booked right now, but like when things do slow down, you're like, man, why isn't work coming in? And it
Mm,
really is just like maintaining those relationships and just putting yourself out there. And then like
yeah,
spending time on doing stuff that you want to do, right?
yeah,
Like someone might see your art and then share that with somebody else, and that person might be like
right,
the founder of some cool company that they're starting or something.
totally. I know with the art thing, I'm like, I just need to find some rich person to start collecting art in Boulder.
Yeah.
You have to
I mean,
like
there's
make those
definitely those people there.
connections. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's the other thing with the art thing. I like really want to just foster community in person. Like
Hmm.
have fun art parties and do First Fridays and just
Yeah,
talk to
that'd be
people,
sweet.
not have it be all about social media and like digitizing everything.
Do they have First Fridays in Boulder?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. I'm like not, I don't have my act together yet, but I'm planning on it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about for sure. Just like creating little spaces. It's funny, I was
yeah.
riding through Portland yesterday and like just up the street from me, they were doing this road race. It's like the oldest road race in Oregon, I think.
Hmm.
And they were doing that. I wanted to go on a ride selfishly, so I didn't go look at it. But then
Yeah,
I was like biking through the park here, Forest Park, and there was this local organization doing a running race. So I was like, it's just cool to
wow.
see like people like building small communities, and I
Yeah,
think that's what it's all about.
yeah.
I think that really is what it's all.
It's like since the pandemic, people are like back in that mode too.
Yeah,
People
it's
just
so
want to hang
important.
out. Yeah. And I'm such an extrovert. I like feed off of people. I'm like, I just want to be around people and hear what other people are doing. And then that gets me
Okay.
stoked to do whatever.
I feel like I'm such an introvert, but then I also get really energized from like conversations like this. So I wonder if I'm like maybe something different, but
You're a hybrid.
I'm a hybrid. I'm definitely not an extrovert though, because I'm like the shyest person ever. Like, yeah. I always say like, this is something that came up in my coaching is
Yeah.
like, for example, a couple of months ago, I did this event here in Portland. It was like 6 weeks long. Every other week we did like an in real life event.
Hmm.
And I always say that I love like organizing it, doing the brand, like doing everything around it,
Yeah.
right? To bring people together.
Yeah.
But then the event's happening, I like to just kind of just dip back and just watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't like to be in it at all.
Yeah.
So
But that's
something
cool.
I'm working on, but yeah.
Do you feel like you have to force it?
I feel like I need to force myself to like face that fear a little bit
Mm.
and like put
Yeah.
myself out there. Because I think it also kind of sometimes come off like as like I'm being a dick or something. But it's really I'm just
Yeah.
like shy and
Yeah.
just hanging out,
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, it really is. So it's like every time I do an event, I get like all this anxiety. It's
I
okay.
always wonder that though, like with personality traits, like if something makes you uncomfortable, are you supposed to like face it head on? Like, is that a healthy thing to do? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it hurts to try.
Yeah.
My coach was saying because there'd be just like opportunities or things coming towards me, and I would make up excuses not to go.
Uh,
And like I've told this example before, but like I got asked to like do a portfolio review with Adobe here in
Yeah.
Portland, and I
Cool.
made up an excuse not to go because I was like
No.
the idea of me being in a room with like a bunch of other creatives
Yeah.
and like having to talk with people, I was just like, there's no way. And so I brought that up with him, and he was like, okay, that's fine. Like, you noted it. It's like you recognized it.
Yeah.
Like next time that happens, like let's try to say yes.
Yeah. The first
And
step
so
is
what happened
acknowledging.
was, yeah, first step is acknowledging. And then what happened was it got snowed out. Portland got like a snowstorm, and the event was canceled. And so I had an opportunity to do it. And so I reached
Nice.
back out to the person. I was like, hey, like, I know you rescheduled. Like I like that date will work for me. And so
Yeah.
then I went and did it. And it was very
Nice.
hard for me, but it was also very fun.
That's really cool. So was it just like talking through projects and explaining your
Yeah.
process and stuff?
Yeah. For me, I think the most challenging part of it was having to, because it was like a really nice space, but
Hmm.
they had like 10 other creatives and all these students. So it was kind of like loud. It was like hard to actually like,
Mm.
it was hard to like, I don't know, like really dig in. So like that
Yeah.
was the hardest part for me, was to try to like really have like a good conversation with somebody when all
Right.
this stuff was happening.
That makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
when you're
That was a
presenting on
good
a Zoom
tangent.
call. I hate when I'm like presenting and I can't see anyone. Like I
Oh
need
yeah.
to be able to see people's reactions. Like I can't
Yeah.
deal with that when
Yeah.
it's just
It's
blank.
important. Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
one's definitely important.
Yeah.
I actually have, I thought maybe you had worked with her, but it sounds like you didn't have overlap. But I have a couple questions from Anya Miller Berg, who's now
But
the
yeah, I
creative
wish I
director at.
worked with her. Like we are
Yeah.
literally like
So
this.
I reached out to her this morning to ask
Yeah.
get a couple questions. And
Nice.
so I'll ask you those questions.
Yeah.
I guess like the first one she said is, what is the most surprising thing about hardware as a brand today versus what it was like when you worked there?
That it's just like cool now. Like it was such a like mom blah flannel brand, and now it's like the young cool climber kids want it and associate with it. And
Yeah, I agree. Like
not
the
even just
refresh is pretty
product,
sick.
not even just product and branding. It's like they actually have events and cool films they're making, and like they're active in the
Hmm.
community and people
Yeah.
see it. But also that was 2017 when I started. So it's been close to 10 years that they have been working on making it cool.
Yeah. I interviewed her like when I first started this podcast. She was like one of
Hmm.
the first guests.
Hmm.
And I loved her story so much. You know,
Oh
I
my
could
God,
have talked
yeah.
to her forever.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
it from her, but I've heard it from other people and I love it.
And, but what I love is that she's just like she's coming from like this very nonlinear path, right? She
Yeah.
was like an architect and then took some time and did like some freelance stuff and then stumbled into Mountain Hardwear. And
Yeah.
I think why all this is being so successful for her and that brand right now is because she's coming from this nonlinear path that's giving her
Yeah,
this different perspective.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I know hardware, like, I feel like when we started, I was like, I would say to people I work at Mountain Hardware and like nobody knew it. And
Oh
now
yeah.
you just say hardware and they're like, "Oh my God, you worked at Mountain Hardware? That's so cool." And I'm like, "Wow, it really turned around."
I remember when the brand first came around because I was living in the East Bay and their
Yeah, in the 90s.
office was, yeah, their office was like, I think it's still there. It's like in the Albany Point or something like that. Somewhere like by
Albany
the
Bulb.
bay. Yeah, by the Albany Bulb.
Yeah, in Richmond.
Yeah, I actually, funny enough, I threw a BMX event. My very first BMX event I ever hosted was at the Albany Bulb.
No way.
Somebody had drug out these two satellite dishes. They were like perfect half pipes, essentially, quarter pipes.
Hmm.
And I don't know where they got them, but they dragged them all the way back to the bulb into like this little nook. And we set them up into like one as a quarter pipe, one as like a wall ride.
That's so
And
cool.
so I threw an event there. It was my first one. This band showed up out of nowhere because they were trying to film a music video. And they're like, "Can we like set up here?" And so we're like,
Whoa.
we
What?
were in this band's we were in this band's music video, like us riding around, just doing
That's
young
so
kid
cool.
stuff. And then the cops came, like, but the helicopter came, not on foot. They were like literally got dark and like there was a helicopter above, like
Yeah.
shining down on the band. It was like the most cinematic and unreal experience ever.
Wow, that's wild.
But yeah, I like the bulb.
That's funny.
That's funny. Another question she had for you was, what have you discovered going from in-house art direction, like making creative tools, to an individual artist making art for creative sake?
Wait, what was the beginning? The transition?
Yeah, what have you discovered going from in-house art direction to an individual artist?
I think like that art is design and design is art, and art direction is like such a large term that means a different thing in every industry, but it really comes down to a vision and being able to articulate it. So like with my personal art, yes, it's like the design and composition and the color palette, that's all art direction, but like what is my brand going to be and how's my Shopify site going to show up and what do I want my language on social media to sound like? Like that's all art direction too. I think that yeah, but like the in-house thing taught me a lot about how to do it on my own, but it's also funny how we put these guardrails and definitions around certain industry terms because I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a
Some
fan of labels.
No, and I always like wanted to be an art director and I was like, I'm only a senior designer. I'm doing art direction. And I was like, I want the art director title. But then when you look back at your career, you're like, it's all art direction. Like it's
Yeah,
all like
for
putting
sure.
together a story and a look and a palette or whatever. Like whether you're a graphic designer or creative director, it really is all design is art and art is design.
Yeah, I have a hard time even just labeling like what I do. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know. It could be anything, really.
I know, but
It's
then
like
you
one
have this
day
like
I'm animating,
incredible
yeah.
motion skill, which is
Yeah.
which is also art direction, but it's like you also have a deeper execution level of that specific thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like another thing I worked on with my career coach was about the
Yeah,
label thing. Because
right.
I mean, the first time I ever had a career coach was a different one. And when I asked her, she was like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "I want to become an art director." This was like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, just put it on your resume as an art
Yeah,
director.
literally.
And the moment I did that, I started getting
Art
emails
direction
about art
jobs.
direction jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing happened just last week. This agency I've worked with in the past, like, wanted to hire me in for, I thought it was gonna be like art direction or motion, but
Mm,
it was like for a creative direction for like
yeah.
this big project. I had to turn
Yeah.
it down,
Yeah.
but I was like, and then like I like gave them a rate that I thought was like really high, and like they
Hmm.
didn't even bat an eye. I was like, damn, I
Yeah.
didn't put it
That's
high
sick.
enough. But it's just like it's true. It's like you just say what you are. You are what you are. You are what
Yeah.
you want to be. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Um, but also like the opposite of what I was saying about hating the labels and definitions. Like I personally do really like the art director role, freelance and in-house, more than creative director.
know.
Because creative director
Yeah,
becomes this like very overarching like heady thing where all of a sudden you're like the liaison with the CMO and you're managing all of these designers and copywriters and like it becomes not creative all of a sudden. An art director is like the perfect level where you still get to touch the secret sauce and like make the thing, but you're not like
yeah.
a designer just getting pummeled.
Very often than not, creative directors are literally just in meeting after meeting.
I know. I'm like, I never want to do that. It looks so terrible.
Never. Yeah, because you can't like sneak out and go for a bike ride at lunch
No
because you have to be in a
way.
meeting.
No,
Yeah,
you're like Mr. Corporate through and through when once you get that
yeah.
job.
This is very true. I think a lot of people don't realize that.
I know, and there's really like having been in-house, there's not a lot of mentorship and like teachings for creatives around how to be a manager. So sometimes
Hmm.
you get to that role and you're like, you suck at being a creative director because no one taught you how to do it. And it's
Yeah,
really not a very creative job.
yeah. And also, like everybody does it differently. Everyone,
Totally.
I don't know. I think that's just why it's important just to learn from as many people as you can. So you just make up your own processes
Yeah.
for sure. Another question that Anya had, this is her last one, was around your art.
Hmm.
Because like you have very distinct color in your art, and I think she was wondering if you like explore a lot with like color theory, and are you like building like parameters around to work within as far as
Oh my
like your
gosh, yes.
colors? Because okay, cool, yeah, she picked that up.
Um, yes, because it's like the design training makes me think about the process of art making a specific way. And I want to set guardrails around canvas size and color palette and like form factor. And then within like that rigidity, I think will come much cooler explorations. So I literally like made my whole Figma board about what I was gonna do. And I
Hmm.
made rules for myself around like at 6 months you can add this color, and like
Oh, really?
at
That's
one
cool.
year you can like add human form factor, whatever I said. Like the idea is that the restraint leads to more creativity. So
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, right now I'm honing in on a color palette and seeing what happens with like transforming doodles to paintings.
I'm just gonna throw this out in the world. I think it'd be really cool if you at some point you shared that so people could see that process because that sounds really
Yeah.
interesting.
I know it's like my psycho like type A design brain process, like
It's
creating
cool
these
that
colorful fun things that are supposed to make you
yeah,
smile. But like the process behind it is so intense.
I dig
Yeah,
it.
thanks.
Yin and yang. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have to go in like 10, but
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah, we can definitely wrap up. It's funny. I didn't even like barely touched my notes,
it's
which is
okay.
always a good thing.
Yeah, I'll have to
It's
do it
always good.
again.
Yeah. I know. I want to start. I wanted to start asking people if they want to do like a round to
Yeah.
run it back.
It's almost like therapy when you do a conversation like this because you like think back on your life and your process and you're like, whoa, yeah, that is what I think when I say it out loud.
It's 100% therapy,
Yeah.
in my opinion, for sure. Yeah, I could just ask you my closing question is just like like what's
Yeah.
one thing you're kind of truly believe in right now that you'd want to share with the world,
And
like a mantra or whatever.
yeah, like it hasn't changed for me in a long time, but it's always movement in nature. And I'm lucky that I live somewhere that I have nature close by and I can like run and bike from my door. But I don't know, I get super weird when I spend too long inside or in an urban environment. So
Mhm.
I think it's always been about like breathing fresh air and moving outside
Do you have any advice
around
for
trees.
yeah? Do you have any advice for people like me and others that live in cities that it's like a little harder to get out? Like, do you have any advice?
I feel like in that scenario, like prioritizing one day a week that you are, maybe it's not one day a week, maybe it's one day a month, but you're like playing hooky and
Mhm.
treating yourself to a
Yeah,
fun maxing nature day. Go ride your bike for 3 hours in the woods and get a margarita on the way home and like don't do any work that day. I feel like those kind
yeah,
of treating
yeah.
yourself
That's
to
like
nature.
I like that. That's a good way to do it. It's like play hooky, treat yourself,
Yeah.
like get some good food, get an ice cream cone.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
forget the to-do list for a day and just go spend a day outside of the city.
love
I
it.
just did it the other day though. I was like had all this I had this whole to-do list to like go get this certain paint color and I was gonna ride bikes with a friend beforehand. And then we were on Levos and we just kept going and we are like, it's like almost 1 o'clock. It's time to go.
Yeah,
And I was like, I never made it to the studio that day. Just like rode bikes and that was fine.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. One more thing before you go. I made something new. It's a Patreon, but not the support the show kind. The podcast will always stay free. This is a place under Broken Coastal where I show how the work actually gets made, the design, the process, the stuff that doesn't make it into an episode or into my portfolio. There's a tier where a mini zine shows up in your mailbox every month, and a smaller one, just 8 seats, where I sit down with you and look at your own work. The first 25 people to join lock in their price and get the first zine. It's all in the show notes. Thanks for being here, and thanks for making this kind of thing worth building.